Hello, Facebook fam. So today is Wednesday, and it is my final Women Worth Knowing, and it has been a pretty phenomenal month, meeting some really amazing women in the faith and fitness world. So today, ending it with a bang with Camy Kennedy, who is a woman that I met about 3 years ago virtually, online through another faith and fitnesspreneur, Amanda Wright, and I've been following her on social media. She loves her fitness, is on fire about her faith, completely bold about her faith, and very passionate about helping women live their best life. So super excited to have her come on and share her story here. Hopefully we're working out the technological difficulties. There's so much functionality. It depends on, I guess, personal page, Facebook page, and group of the functionality of the live. Don't know if Facebook's listening, but if you could fix that, that'd be great. But for those of us who, since it's not fixed, we're just going to try to work with what we got. So hopefully she can hop on. We were having issues. I don't know why this is shaking. We were having issues with her hopping on earlier. So for those of you who don't know or just popping on, you might be a follower of Camy. My name is Dee Bolton. I am your faith-fueled mom, and I've been doing these Women Worth Knowing Wednesdays for all of May, just for the month of May. I was inspired to just share women in the faith and fitnesspreneur story, and just introduce to my followers, yay, Camy can get on, introduce my followers to them and vice versa. It's just something that I just do, and it's been a really fantastic month learning about these women. So there she is.
Hi.
Here's Camy. I can hear you. You can hear me.
Yeah.
Perfect. Fantastic. All right. So I was just talking you up about how awesome you are. I met you virtually about 3 years ago through Amanda Wright, I said, and been following you on social media ever since. Completely passionate about her faith, all about her fitness, but more so I would say you're really passionate about helping women live their best life. So without further ado, Miss Camy, how did you get into this whole faith and fitness? How did faith align with your fitness?
Well, so I grew up in a faith home, you could say, but that hasn't really blossomed until this year, which I'll share that in a minute. But back in 2012, I had a best friend. We were back in California, and we always worked out together, and we really saw fitness as our worship time, our time to kind of get together, fellowship with each other, and really build each other up, help each other with some mindset issues, pray or talk about whatever we wanted to talk about. And so at that time, we made a Facebook page called Fit Faith. I didn't know what it was. Sometimes I still don't know what it is. But I love that we just had this community of women, and it's really about empowering women in the church, not only in the church, but also outside of the church. Whenever people are trying to get fit or get healthy or take on nutrition, they're leaving out a key component, and that's faith, and that's mindset, and that's just surrendering the process and not trying to do everything perfect. And then on the same hand, there's a lot of people in the faith community who are just completely neglecting their bodies and completely neglecting their nutrition. And I believe that the healthier and fitter you are, the better you take care of your body, the more people you're able to serve. So the more service you're actually able to do in the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Positively. I mean, God's army has to be strong, right? And if you're suffering from chronic diseases, it's really hard to share the gospel. So I 1,000% agree with you. Uh-oh, I think we're frozen, Camy. I think I lost you. Hopefully not. Oh no, she's frozen. Hopefully, give me a couple seconds. For those of you who are on the replay, thank you for your grace. I know. Back on. Can I undo? You're already up. I'll add you back on. So there we
go. Okay. I'm back.
All right.
You got me?
Okay.
It's when you get a random call from a 1-800 number that ruins your Facebook Live. You're like, people, we're trying to do work here. Quit calling.
Right?
So I missed your question. If you were talking, I missed it because I was getting a call.
No, I was agreeing with you. I was just saying God's army you can't be suffering from chronic diseases and, trying to take care of your body and then still share the gospel. I mean, you're definitely able to do it, but probably not to the best of your ability. So I 1,000% agree that, you know, we're only given one temple to honor. So take the
Yes.
best care of it as we can.
Yes.
So, so that's how you got started with the Faith and Fit before you even knew what that even
Yes.
was about. And so that was 2012. That was like
Yeah.
6 years ago.
Yeah.
How has that evolved through the years?
Yeah. So now, so I've been doing it with my best friend, and she kind of does the marketing piece, and I show up as like the main person with the ideas. And originally we did some coaching, right? Like we did nutrition, fitness, and faith. We had a devotional. That was like our first product that we launched, and that was an online thing, and it was pretty cool. We had some people coming in from different countries, so that was like our international debut. And then now it's really evolved more into partnering with nonprofits. So recently, my friend is so good at doing outreach and doing community events. And she partnered with a nonprofit down in Atlanta where she's based out of called Beloved. And they put on a CrossFit event to benefit Beloved, which is a sex trafficking, basically supporting women getting out of sex trafficking. And so that's kind of the direction that we're going in now. We're taking fitness into the church, doing fitness activities, sponsoring events to help nonprofits raise money for good causes. And so my heart's really been in that, on when we can change our perception about fitness and realize like, hey, there are some people in the world that are really sick, or maybe they don't have the money to get running shoes, or maybe they can't afford a gym membership. Like, we are so blessed and we are so privileged in the US. Even if we don't have a lot, we can get our bodies moving. And I believe that's honoring God and honoring other people who may not be able to do that. So it's changing your perspective, going out with a service mindset of, hey, when I'm healthy, I'm showing up better in the world. So therefore, I'm a better representation of what God wants me to be. And I'm able to help more people and maybe even inspire more people in that way as well.
Yes, 1,000% agree. That's amazing. So Beloved is one. That's not the only project that you guys are doing though.
Yeah, no. So I'm based in Raleigh, North Carolina. And so I just went on a mission trip with Design for Joy. And Design for Joy is a local nonprofit here in Raleigh that supports women who are kind of underserved. They're having a hard time finding a job that pays a living wage. So what they do is they take women who are transitioning, maybe in and out of a job or in and out of a tough situation. They pay them a living wage to make jewelry, and then they have a boutique, and you can go into the boutique and buy things, right? Like maybe you're paying $80 for something, and that money's going directly into pay these women $12 an hour. And that's going to help teach them job skills. It's going to give them a reference so that then they can go on and find a good, stable job to support their family. So that's the thing local in Raleigh. And I'm doing a couple things with them locally here. Like we're doing a clothing drive, and we're kind of do a clothing swap to help raise funds. But I just went on a mission trip with them, which was completely life-changing. Like at that point, it just changed my life 100%. So I can count that as like the turning point in my life. We went last month in April for 5 days to Costa Rica, and God is so good because Costa Rica has been on my list of places I wanted to see. And I was blessed to be able to go there and serve. And so I got to see it in kind of a different way versus like a vacation spot. And so we went there to help support a women's sewing ministry. And I'll share a little bit. Let me just share the testimony of the woman we went to support. Then I'll get back to like how it changed my life. The woman that we went down there to see, we'll just call her Pastora because she's the pastor of a church, and her husband's pastor. So Pastor and Pastora, they got together at a young age. She was always in the church, and her husband, who she was getting with at the time, was not, right? He didn't come from a great family. Her family did not approve of her getting with this guy, and the church basically disowned her when she got with him. She ended up staying with him, whatever. They ended up having a son, 4 years old, and they opened a bar. And at the time, a bar was a thing to do to make money in Costa Rica, right? That was a really great way to run a business. And so they had the bar for several years, and then the husband ended up running off with a girl from the bar and ended up leaving his wife. So she was kind of stuck there, really sad, really alone with this 4-year-old son. And she was in a hard place because she had kind of been rejected by the church, and so she didn't have a place to go. And so during that time, she just prayed and prayed and prayed over her son, and her son kind of ended up getting her back into church. And so she kind of got back involved, and she wanted to help minister to women. So she started this sewing community. But the amazing thing is that her husband, she was praying for her husband ended up coming back, repented, they got back together. He is now the pastor of that church. And where we were in Costa Rica, the church that we worshiped in, that we served in all week, was formerly the bar. They shut the bar down and they turned it into a church. So
That is so amazing.
It was just like you could feel the Spirit of God and just restoration and transformation all in that place. Like it was phenomenal.
Such a good example of God always meets you where you are. He always meets you where you are and then takes you further than you can even imagine with your own strength. That is such a good testimony. Okay, so that was amazing. And then how did that, I know, right? Yes.
Yeah.
And so how did that change your faith?
Yeah. So for me personally, I was in this space of like, and I think in the US we can get like this, like never enough. I need more. And when we're an entrepreneur, we're like, I need this new thing. I need a new iPhone. I need a new iPad. Like we think we need all these things in order to be successful. And the biggest thing that ministered to me there is there's these women down there. They don't have half of what we have in the US. And they have a sewing machine, some thread and some fabric. And they are making clothing and they're selling clothing and they're running thriving businesses with the basics. They don't have a website. They don't have a virtual assistant. They don't have what we have. And so when I got back, I was kind of like, I have so many gifts that I'm not sharing. I'm just playing small. Like, what am I doing? Like, how many more people could I be helping? So as soon as I got back from that trip, I was like, I ain't got no more excuses. Like, I have everything I need. I just have to go out there and use the gifts that I've been given. And I believe that everybody has a gift. Like if you know something about protein and your friend doesn't, you can teach your friend about having more protein. Like we always get so concerned about, well, I don't have a certification or I'm not a doctor or I'm whatever. If you know more than somebody, you can teach them. Like a first grader can teach a kindergartner something. So that's really where I stand is like, if I know more than somebody and they are willing and they want to know and they want to learn from me, then I'm here to help them, right? Now, some people don't want help, or some people, like, again, like, you gotta meet people where they are, but we all have gifts, we all have abilities, and I just felt like a huge responsibility to share that, and it just reminded me, like, that Pastora sharing her testimony with me, she didn't have to share it, right? But by her sharing that, it changed my life, it changed all the women's lives that were there, it got us more connected, and so really, I came back showing up more vulnerable, being willing to say like, here's my weaknesses, being willing to step out and go first to stuff that's just uncomfortable. And I have a pretty big uncomfortable, like I like to do Facebook Live. So for some people, this might be uncomfortable. For me, this is not an issue, but for me, it's bigger things. It's like hosting a retreat, really going with my podcast, and I'll get into the podcast in a minute, but like really stepping into God, who he called me to be, and not playing small anymore, if that makes sense.
Being bold. He asks us to be bold. He tells us to be bold. And he tells us that he'll be there for the fall when we are bold. So yes, I love that you came back on fire. It's actually, I was talking to my 14-year-old and I was saying, as a family, what would you like to see? And she was saying a mission trip. And
oh my gosh,
I've seen miraculous changes. Not only, I feel like we go there thinking we're going to save some type of third world country, and then we come back completely saved, completely transformed, and those people with humble beginnings and meager provisions, they're living a much better life than we are, and we are beyond. Oh, sorry about the train.
That's okay. We have so many distractions, and we have so many things, like the Wi-Fi not working, right? Like, oh, my Wi-Fi's not working, like things that it's like, are you kidding me? Like, we're upset about this stuff. So it's brought me a lot more patience and a lot more perception into how I'm showing up in my life. So I suggest anybody go on it. And it's an act of faith. Like so here's the other thing. When I decided I was going on this mission trip, it was in December. And that was the same time where I said to God, I'm like, do you want me to be doing this business anymore? Cause like I was struggling, like couldn't pay rent, was like paying rent late. Cause I'm like, I don't have money to pay rent. Like, do you want me to be an entrepreneur? Do you want me to serve in this way? And I was like laying it all down. Like, do you want me to go get a real job? Like, what is it you want me to do? And at that point I was like, okay, clearly I have this like pretty open schedule because I'm a trainer. I have a flexible schedule. So I was like, let me use this time to serve God. So I just said, okay, I'm going on this mission trip. You'll provide a way. And so many people donated. Like I didn't have to, I probably paid a quarter of the cost because so many people came forward and donated and said, yes, I support this trip. And so I highly recommend like taking that leap of faith and doing a mission trip because God will provide. If he called you there, he's going to provide a way for you to get there. And so that was my experience. I was just like, it was like effortless. Like, and that's the space I'm in now. Like things are flowing. There's just like, I don't have to do it in my own strength anymore. It's like, just give it up and then you're just in the flow. So I've loved being in this spot, and just the mission trip kind of propelled me forward into doing more work on self-love and less work on like fitness and nutrition hardcore. It's more about what's going on the inside. And I think you probably agree that same way. Like we can give you all the tools. I can tell you what to eat. I can tell you how to work out, but there's stuff that's going on in the inside that affects what shows up on the outside. And so that's what I'm really passionate about now.
You're completely. I always tell people with my Bibles in boot camp, I lure you in with the fitness and food, and then I keep you with the inner transformation, because that's what we work on. It's the devotion, it's the meditation, it's the prayers, it's the surrender to God, and just having a really intimate relationship. That what we really grow in. And just the benefit of honoring your temple is that you do get fit, you do look good, and you do, it's just kind of a gift that we're given. So yes. So you are changing your business model.
Yes.
And so with that, where's Faith Fit going? Where is Camy Kennedy going, I should say?
Yes. So, I mean, I like to keep everything on my main page, which is camykennedy.com. And then kind of, you can see all the other things I'm doing along there. So Fit Faith is a component of that because I like to serve in the community. And really, I'm taking that into partnering with nonprofits. So if there's anybody who has a nonprofit, they want to partner, we're now located in Raleigh and Atlanta. So if anybody wants to reach out for us, that they want to partner and do a fitness event, we're totally open to that. Now, where I'm going as a brand for my coaching, before I was always saying I'm a diet recovery expert. I'm going to teach you how to stop dieting, which I still agree. I don't think we need to be dieting, but my main focus now is self-love. And I'm calling myself now a self-love strategist. Like, how can we dive in deep to really making sure that we love ourselves? Because like as Christians, I feel like sometimes we're taught that like die to self, sacrifice, like blah, like give until you're like sick and weary. And I don't believe that. You can't serve from a place where you're sick and weary and unhealthy. And so it's taking that like aggressive service and making it more balanced, where it's like, right now, I just need a bubble bath. Right now, I need a manicure. I need to get my nails done. Like, I just need to sit in peace. That's what I need so I can fill myself up so that I can give back. And then how that relates to women, I'm really helping women too in the business space, because I see the mindset struggles that go on when you're starting a business, when you're launching it, when you're like, what am I going to do? Like, all of your biggest insecurities come out. So I am doing some business coaching. I'm doing coaching on Facebook Live, so some marketing strategy, also some mindset behind business. And then for my key program now, I just launched the beta program. It's called Self-Love Perfectionist Project. And so if they want to get in on that, I actually have, you can put this in the notes, I made a little bit.ly link. I don't know if it's backwards too.
It is backwards, but I'll put it on the comment.
Yeah, it's so they can get on the wait list for the next one. And then what I know that I'm called to do is retreats. And so I want to do live retreats, intimate, here in the North Carolina area. Then I'll do Florida. And ultimately, I want to go to Bali and do one in Bali. So that's like my dream. And like go big or go home, right? Like God can make it happen.
Right?
So just the in-person events where we really focus on self-love. And so people are making big strides and they can start. It's not like you go for a weekend like that was fun. It's like, no. How can we have that transformative experience like I had on my mission trip, but bring it to somebody in a weekend where they're like, oh my gosh, my mindset's completely changed, to where like I just see things differently. And so that's where I want to get women to, is where they're constantly working on personal development and personal growth, because that's the only thing that's going to build our body and build our business the way that we want to, is the more that we work on ourselves.
Fantastic. And that also trickled down to family. I mean, I feel like once the woman in the house is strong and has a great foundation, and then it trickles down and she just passes that on, and that
Yes,
just grows our whole community.
absolutely.
So
Hmm.
I love all that you're doing. I love that this live came after your transformational
Yes.
breakthrough.
Yep.
That is so amazing right there. Like I told Lakeisha, the first person I did this with,
Hmm.
I had this idea 8 months ago, and God it was just so loud, like, Dee, you have to do this now. And I did not know who was going to be on there. I just put it out there in my Faith and Fit blog, and then
Hmm.
enough women, just enough, 4 women or 5 women showed up just for every slot that I had available.
Wow.
And it just worked out perfect because God always meets you where you are.
Yes.
And every woman was like, well, what is this for? And I'm like, it's just to share your story.
Yeah.
I don't know your story, and the only person who could do it is you. And I'm just
Hmm.
very grateful that you took the time today to
Yes.
share your story, an amazing story, and all the good things you're doing. I definitely would love to get connected with
Hmm.
you and help you with the nonprofits, all those things. And if there's anybody who's on this live or knows somebody on this live who this is where their heart might be, definitely point them towards Camy, and she can definitely help you guys just bless people with self-love, self-confidence. I mean, I feel like there's so much dumping on women, and there's so much that we do on our own self that we have to build each other up, and it has
Hmm.
to start from ourselves. You can't build someone else unless you're strong. So
Yeah,
I
I
and
agree.
stronger together. That is my whole mission this year. God is really pruning me in that, and it's just if we could all unite, we'd be
Hmm.
such a stronger force than
And
just
I
on
want
our
to hear
own.
more. We'll have to connect offline. I want to hear more about your Bibles and boot camp, because that's something that I've been wanting to do with Fit Faith, is get together and do like a run and reconnect. But it sounds like you've got a format. So share that with me. Let me know what people are liking, because I'm wanting to do that here in my local area too and get some community going.
Fantastic. I would
Hmm.
definitely love to do that. Definitely. And it's funny because we have a Just Do You challenge, which is something, and it's something like just do you.
Yeah.
I reward the women, and they have to do 30 minutes, and they have to take a selfie, and they just have to do you, whether it's manicure or whatever the self care
Yes.
is, because I
That's
feel like
great.
so we don't have fitness challenges. I don't have plank challenges. Sorry guys, I don't have ab challenges. I have these different self-development challenges
That is
for the women
cool.
to grow in. So yeah, we definitely need to talk Bibles and boot camp because
Yep.
and all of us faithpreneurs, we're all on the same page. God is using us all together.
Yes.
And that's why we need to join together. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
so excited you came. Thank you so much for your
Yes.
time. Sorry for all
That's
the
okay.
chaos in
That's
the
okay.
background.
Hey, I want to say one more thing, because this is another thing
Yeah.
that's on my heart. So last year, a lot of my 2017, like I said, was like grinding, hustling, doing things like on my own strength.
Yeah.
And last year, I launched a podcast, and I don't even know if you saw it, but I launched it in October. It was called Rule Breaker Lifestyle, right? Was grinding it out, went till December 23rd and like posted. And I was like exhausted because I was doing all of it myself. And I don't know what it was, but I just like couldn't do any more episodes. So I took 8 months off, and God told me, like, I kind of, when I started the podcast, I was like, well, maybe I'll do a faith one, maybe, and then I'll do like a business one, and I'll do two. And I ended up going Rule Breaker Lifestyle, because that's what I want to do, right? I want to do it my own way. Even though God was kind of prompting me, like, do a faith one. Well, guess what? I come back from the mission trip, and he's like, I'm going to need you to rebrand that podcast now to like what I told you to do before. So I'm rebranding it. It was Rule Breaker Lifestyle. Now it's going to be Fit Faith Freedom, which I
Yeah.
knew I was supposed to do before, but I didn't. So now I'm rebranding the podcast, and I'm rebranding my Facebook page. So if anybody wants to hop in that, I'm relaunching it June 20th. So it's on
Okay.
iTunes now. If they want to go and just look up Rule Breaker Lifestyle, it'll be there, and they can follow it. And then soon, like within the next few weeks, it'll have an updated image and an updated title, so they can listen to the old stuff, which is still great, but we're flowing way more into faith and just what it means to be spiritual along your journey, whether it's fitness or business or just becoming a better human. Like my thing is about breaking through limiting beliefs, because that's what holds us back. We think we're always going to be fat, we're always going to be poor, we're always going to live in this part of the country. Whatever it is a limiting belief. So we're attacking each one of those one at a time and just really building you up. The other thing I'm using it for, because I love this, and I figure if I love it, other people will love it. In the morning, I like to read, and that's how I get my scripture in. So I'm usually listening to a podcast while I'm moving. So I'm like, let me make really good, like 20-minute, powerful, impactful podcast episodes that are designed to go with your morning workout so that you're like grinding it out, getting your mindset straight whenever you go. So that's kind of what's
You
coming up with
too.
Faith Freedom. So
I
I'm
love that.
excited. And I have a virtual assistant now to help me. So that's going to take some weight off my plate as well. So have them
Those are
check that out.
beyond helpful.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that's awesome. So I'm going to post Camy's link for everybody's on the replay. I'm going to post her link there, the way you can connect to her and all things that she's doing. I have a feeling God has already connected us. We're going to be working together soon. I'll definitely be sharing that podcast on June 20th. And if you guys have any questions for me, any questions for Camy, definitely. And I'm just so grateful. Like I said, Faith-Fueled Life is about building a community of women who are glorifying God through honoring their temple. Right there is another faith-fueled lifer right there. So thank you so much, Camy. Be blessed, everybody. Have a wonderful Wednesday. And until next time, bye.